Artezinho na curta, de Buck, o primeiro, o segundo, vai Artezinho!
Welcome back, everyone, to VCT Americas here, the kickoff, as we are now tied up in this series. 1-2-1. MIBR as well as Leviathan and the Bananas are out. It's time for some potassium, baby.
They're out, but they're not in anybody's mouths.
That's it. Oh, okay.
Dude, don't take this the wrong route, Alex.
It was just the fact that you said it with such authority.
Out of here.
With such confidence. It was like,
how am I 10 years younger than both of you?
Okay.
And I'm the only
Okay.
adult at this age.
I can't trust anything he says. Okay? Everything he says is a
I
fraud.
was being serious. I'm stating facts.
All right, hey, well, you know what was a fact on that one. We finally got to see this awesome duelist head-to-head really come to fruition here because Demon 1 Aspas certainly had a lot of highlight multi-kill flick shot moments. We'll start here with Demon 1. We were concerned about Demon 1 in this series. We even said, hey, brother, maybe you should go to the smokes. But it seems like in this case, man, something woke up in Demon 1.
No, for sure. Literally, since round 12 of game 1, this guy has been absolutely playing out of his mind. And he's also going with an agent swap on this map. We just saw him play the Yoru on this map versus G2. That didn't end well for him. But on the Jet, he was completely unleashed, and especially his play with the Outlaw.
And that's the thing also for MIBR. You're prepared to play against how they pulled the Yoru for Leviathan, but then now you have to adjust onto the Demon 1 on that Jet. And it worked pretty well. And it's also thanks to Aspas just going nuclear as well.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, also talking about Aspas there as well, right? Demon 1 had incredible moments, but Aspas...
Look at these shots.
I mean, we wanted to highlight this because just...
He's good.
Shot, dude!
So we talked to Zap about this, and he had said Aspas goes through the paces of practicing all of these different angles.
Look at
where, like,
this.
just the fact that he doesn't even go into the animation of the freaking scope, and then he still hits him and backs away. It's insane.
And we gave a chance to put that into slow motion so that we could actually react and see what the hell happened. But in real time, it almost looked like he was playing Omen and just TP'd out instantly when he went through that Astro Wall. So again, it goes back to what we were mentioning before pre-game, where you have Aspas playing on the defensive side. He doesn't need that much utility around him so that he could get the most effect out of the operator, which then means for MIBR overall, they have a lot more util to work with on other parts of the map to contain their opponents.
Yeah, it really has just been so many amazing things you could pull away from this game across the board, right? But now we do have to talk about when MIBR started to make this run happen, when they started to get themselves back into this game. One of the big moments there, that bonus.
It started with this bonus. Like, there were a lot of rounds in this game where Leviathan just sort of left this huge gap in mid. And here, they'd already picked off Aspas early in the round. But when this exec comes in, Artisan hits a knife backside that spots out both players. Then he just straight up kills them both. And Leviathan were offsides, or 3 players shifted over towards the A side of the map. And I think that was sort of indicative of future rounds as well, whether it was the Cortesia lurk into Art towards the end, that second to last round where he finds 2 kills. There was a lot of gaps in that mid defense that MIBR were able to find.
And when Cortesia was able to find those timeouts, it was, or those timings rather, on towards that A side, it was also thanks to another big round from MIBR, a thrifty round where they worked towards that street into a pulse plant. There was good stalls coming out here from Leviathan, but Noswar popped out on the Sheriff. That actually broke the economy of Leviathan to allow here MIBR to secure at least that 12th round. Then you have 3 chances to close out, and they did it right away. So that was actually some pivotal moments where it's so interesting to see that in Valorant, it's just like one small thing could really change the outcome of that game, no matter how good your players look.
For sure. And I think one thing that MIBR have to, or sorry, rather Leviathan have to be aware of is that when MIBR are winning these pistol rounds, they're going for true FPX buys, right? So they're going two pistols plus 3 rifles, so that round 3, it's not a real bonus. They're fighting you with rifles, so it really can allow them to snowball early rounds.
Yeah, and of course, great game plan for sure. Now we're going to be looking forward to Split. And the last time we saw MIBR on this map, we were treated to Artsin's amazing raise. So I'm looking forward to that here. But, you know, actually something I did want to ask, though, is about just like how these series have been playing out. Because, fellas, this has been a very wacky game. Game started off very lopsided, and then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, it's just flipping. What do you think is going on here?
I mean, it's just teams being able to play in their comfort and finding their footing as soon as everything went right, at least for the side of Leviathan, and then also going into the map pick for MIBR. Well, you saw how they're able to just understand what their game plan was if they had to play the comeback. The most interesting for me, though, is talking about that split map, because we get to a point where both of these teams didn't get to show too much of their games. It was a 13-6 for Leviathan against Furia, then it was a 13-3 here against EG for MIBR, and then you have a double duelist versus a single duelist with Demon 1 back onto a Raze. I want to know what Leviathan's game plan is to try to stop them.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to be really aware of those split hits, whether it's, one player going up the ramps, the Raze double satcheling over towards your rafters, over on the A side of the map, pinch hits into mid as well. It's going to be mid control that Leviathan need to regain after they got punished there on Pearl. Split, it is critical.
That's right. Elimination on the line, folks. Map 3 is up next. Whoever wins this moves on, and the losers tournament ends here and now. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we return, plenty more action. We'll see you soon.
In case elimination was not enough to build suspense and to get you invested in the story, we're going all the way. We're going the distance. And again, we've got the double duelist comp that MIBR debuted, but they showed yesterday. And that's what Leviathan are going to have to solve.
And Artsine looked great on that Raze as well. He had so many impactful kills with the shotguns, right? I mean, it was just crazy the stuff that he was doing and the space that he was creating for Ospas on the attacking side to kind of close out that game against EG. And for the side of Leviathan, you have to keep your head into this. We've seen how overwhelming MIBR can be on this map, and I'm really wondering this time around if Cortesia will get punished in that mid area where we saw him get so much value yesterday.
Yeah, I think part of the question is, I mean, again, this was what, 24 hours ago?
Yeah.
How much prep?
How much can you change?
Yeah, I imagine the guys on the Lev coaching staff haven't slept, haven't been able to do much other than watch this film.
Yeah.
And again, there it is. It's that double duelist comp. It's out.
Yeah. And I think if you're on the side of Leviathan, I mean, the best way to deal with this is if you run a cipher of your own, right? You have these trip plays that can catch off a lot of these duelists. Yes, keep in mind the Raze nade can break a lot of that, but you can get really creative with a lot of the positioning of this utility to make sure it still gets value, and you have more info than the other side. So a lot of the success we saw MIBR have, specifically on their defensive side, which we'll get to in the second half, was aggressive plays. But Leviathan's comp is built around that. It's built to outplay that.
The comp was built to outplay that. The roster was built to win championships. This was not where they imagined they'd find themselves at this point in the tournament. But lo and behold, that's where we are, and that's already an opener for Artsine. You talked about how good he looked yesterday. Again.
I mean, I'm telling you, he just gets on the Raze and he just does some crazy things.
Trap covering a little bit. Tex is going to have to deal with a whole lot more than just that. He finds a second, feels a little bit of pressure out from Noswer, who's weak. He's buying a lot of time here, and he's getting a kill. But Artsine trading back. Demon 1 weak. The spike's not in hand currently.
Shenham has been so clutch, though, for this squad.
Oh, and he's found a timing. He's found some space. The smoke goes down. He's been found too. King left in 1v1. The paranoia out. The classic doesn't even get a chance to fire off. That's 3 for the Raze and the pistol for MIBR.
When it's Raze, Artsine will deliver. A 3K on the pistol round, picking up right where he left off yesterday. And already, the momentum in favor. Tex, he does such a good job of anchoring these sites. He did so much work. The back and forth dance. stuck in elbow, but it's just not enough. The sheer force that this double duelist composition has, it's so much to deal with.
They're going to have to solve these on the fly. You talked about how the defense was kind of built, the composition was built to deal with stuff like this, but
they have the tools.
Sure.
But the rotations need to be a little bit better. And what is that? Some nice shots from Cortesia, and that'll draw another player here. So the pack in B main, they don't really have to do anything. Cortesia can just walk his way all the way through. He has all that A site for free, and that's the callback. I mean, Com's stuck A ramp alone with just a shorty, even if he hears the footsteps walking through water.
At best,
they're not going to go up there.
Yeah, at best, he gets 2.
Oh, but wait. They do want to go through vent. He could. Yeah, he could pick off 1, maybe. You might be onto something.
Hey, you're talking best case scenario, though.
Hey, he's playing the perfect spot, but he gets caught with his knife out. That's just tough.
I think there was so much advantage in space that Cortesia was able to garner for MIBR that, yeah, a lot of it rode on Com being able to pull off a miracle, right? Yeah. A magic trick. And
yeah, those 2 kills solidify the anti-eco for MIBR. And he just becomes a human drone at that point.
Now, I think part of the conversation we need to have now is what the bonus looks like, because we've seen it happen a few times for both teams throughout this series. You take a look at MIBR, they've got 4 rifles, but more importantly, Artzine's 1 pip from his ult.
Yeah, and he's going to go hunting. He's going to try to find where these players are. He only has a ghost. Keep that in mind. He might not find them, but still, you can default on this map so slowly, methodically, get that orb gathered onto him, formulate the right plan to start taking a lead into this series.
He might get it.
Yeah.
He's really fast on this.
Cat. He was spamming the smoke, got a little tag, but the headshot doesn't connect. So he doesn't have the showstopper quite yet, but it's so easy to grab that B main orb. Maybe you'll see Leviathan set up a trap play there. Maybe a little bit of orb denial on that side. It looks like MIBR might be anticipating something of that sort and just all going towards this A site. There is going to be a late lurk from none other than Shenum. The 4-1 has been a good recipe of success for MIBR. We saw that on the Pearl map. This is a unique cam. He's right over that Viper wall. I have not seen this one yet.
You've got to commit so far up to clear it, too. Big out from Demon 1. That's 1 duelist dealt with. The nade's going to buy a little bit of time. Steps back into the spit, though, and finds some cover.
And with that kill, he evens the score between him and Ospas, that head-to-head duel.
Meanwhile, our team did convert on getting the rocket. Com is just on the other side. Is he going to be found? They know he's there, but no.
No value.
No joy. And so now off of this, numbers the way of the defense. MIBR did invest into this. Namely that ult. But Demon 1 with a second.
Last player standing.
No bonus this time around.
Yeah. A flawless round for Leviathan, dodging the rocket, getting the first blood onto Ospas. Demon 1, we saw him get going on the raise. I mean, he had a good monstrous performance on that Jet 2 in the last map. Unfortunately, wasn't able to close it out, but he's really shown a lot of value here for this Leviathan roster. He's answered a lot of questions that have been out there on if he's flexible enough to play other duelists.
Into the next we go. Lev with a comfortable investment here. I think one of the things we talked about earlier was the middle of the map. And yes, defensively, Cortesia was able to find a lot yesterday. Cobb not finding the same success.
I think he may have just gotten taken out on a jump spot or a jiggle. That was a laser beam of a shot by Ospas in mid. And with that, the entire map opens up. Cortesia, he's going to have to relieve some of this pressure in B main, maybe try to break some of this Cypher utility, make his presence known. Otherwise, you are going to be running into a stack. 3 members of Leviathan towards this B site.
Cortesia dealt with.
Yeah, all of a sudden the map becomes smaller for MIBR.
They don't really have space anywhere.
All they have is B main. That's why they're re-clearing this middle area. They're going to go for a B split, but if you look at the minimap, King is ready with a paranoia. You have a tank backside B to pop flash himself for the B main kills.
There's a paranoia at the ready that you mentioned.
But it's way too early, Doug.
It's going to buy some time. Demon 1 trying to get on this aggressive angle. 1 kill found, but traded right back. Artsine, how much more can he find? Satcheling forward, but down from hell, they're plucked. Oh, the clip runs dry. He's got to stay alive. Shannon on the reposition, the spike in hand. So uncomfortable. No real space to commit to getting the spike plant down.
Tex will pick up that kill and finish the round out for Leviathan. That setup, it was fortified, man. Yeah, the paranoia is really early, but the pop flash from the tank and backside. Oh, disgusting shot from Ospas. Calm. He's gonna be thinking twice before he jiggles that one.
With a Phantom, no less.
Yeah, a little bit of wallbang action, but yeah, that setup was almost perfect. The paranoia, it delayed enough for Demon 1 to get a little bit ahead, get 1 kill before getting traded. But in the tank in that backside, that pop flash, you cannot predict that. If you're the attacker, Naswar, he gets punished for that. And now the economy is not looking too good for MIBR. It's stingers across the board, seeing if they can get anything done this one way.
No, remember that smoke leaves a gap. Yeah. Our team getting tagged as soon as he goes forward, trying to satchel out, getting ahead of the paranoia. And a stinger in his face, the controller is down.
He really is a psychopath on this raise.
Calm from up in heaven. Only able to find a little bit. But you're right, with reckless abandon, Artsine continues to push. Demon 1 trying to do a bit of the same on the ropes, gets the best of Naswar.
Last player standing.
Oh, now pop, Demon 1, a 1v3. That's gonna connect onto 1, but that's not enough. A thrifty round win for MIBR.
Artsine is just a maniac, the way he takes his timings with these satchels to get up close and personal in your face with that stinger. King, he gets caught with utility out. You think the paranoia is gonna connect, but even if it does, it doesn't matter. He's Goomba stomping you. And the cleanup with the rest of the shots of that stinger. Ooh. Wasn't a headshot, but still. Nice little dandy flick there. And Artsine, he's 1 orb away from another showstopper. Yeah, didn't get value the first time around, but how?
I mean, but at this rate, he's gonna have 4.5.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if this keeps up.
Yeah, he's in heaven. He's in heaven, Doug.
The guy's just playing at his own pace, and they're not ready for it. Oh, now popped. Kill now found. They have to find a way to deal with this aggression from Artsine.
Yeah, this tempo is insane, and then if it's not him, Ospas is still dashing into sight, getting value of his own. It's already a 2v4. It's been 20 seconds into the round. And they're going for this.
Feeling like they have a shot at this, a competitive round. Waiting for the swing from the other side, and I don't know how much more they can invest into this. I don't know how much more they can keep up this pursuit.
Oh, you can't. It's 4v2. With Shenum getting out of dodge like that, he can play that extra Astra Star. He's playing it so safe for that very reason. And MIBR, it doesn't look like they want to hunt too much here because their economy of their own, it's okay. You have 2 members sitting pretty healthy, but the rest, I mean, you're going to have to buy up Artsine. Save as much as you can. A blistering pace has been set here on the final map of this series.
Healing over here.
That's very impressive with a team full of rookies, Doug.
I think part of the question that Leviathan have to answer right now is how do they stop an unstoppable object?
It's supposed to be Tex. He's supposed to be the guy.
There's only so much you can do on one site, though, right? And if they continue to guess the right way or find out where the cipher is and then hit elsewhere.
Yeah.
That is a tough problem to solve.
You just left playing Retake Simulator for the rest of the half.
Right. And again, this is elimination. There's no, well, we can figure it out. We'll go on a lower bracket run.
No, this is it. It's do or die right now. Keep in mind, MIBR have never bested Leviathan.
Oh, that nade's gonna hurt. He swings ahead of it. 21 HP, make that 14.
We talk so much about the head-to-head between Ospas and Demon 1, but now we have to factor in Artsine and Demon 1.
Quietly perched up with the Bucky on the other side. The dog's actually going to flash up towards Tex. And instantly, both teams calling a rotate out.
Yeah, this is very smart calling from Noswar because on the previous map of Pearl, every time they showed utility, they went the other way. When they saw the stack, this time, doubling back. These are the mind games that evolve during a match.
Starting to dump out some utility. Artsine satcheling forward. Oh, but they're both stunned. Com holding the line. Finding two. Now pit dropped. Gotta connect more, but again, the spam from Cortesia instantly drops it. And so with the goo gone off the screen, MIBR pushing forward.
Spike planted.
Tax on a solo mission. Got the sky not far off. That's one kill found. More to connect though, and it's all gonna be Tex. He's gotten two on the round. Can he connect on the third? See the gravity will come through. Not able to get it to half. Had to take a step back. Cam cleared 54 HP. This game of cat and mouse on the tap. Tex on the swing, and no! Again, it's MIBR who are navigating these one-on-one situations and coming out on top.
Individual legacies are born in matches like this, Doug. And Shenum has had so many clutches in this series alone. He's really made a name for himself here on the North American stage. MIBR looking to break the mold.
3 rounds up, 3 ults to play with. Noswar flirting with the 4th. You hear the blades used at the beginning of the round. By who else but Aspas? We've been talking a lot about his counterpart, and for good reason. But thrust into a position to make a play here. Com's just been bullied off of this angle, man.
He's just been getting ran at no matter where he is. I mean, he got a lot of work done with the Bucky on the A-side hold, but MIBR, they're being methodical now.
Oh, the middle of the map has just been theirs.
And just think about the tempo switch up, how fast they've been playing, and now the slow approach. Depositing Aspas in the mid. I mean, this is a beautiful Valorant to be watching, and it's so impressive from MIBR. This is a massive round for Leviathan if they want to have a chance in this map.
You are divided.
30 seconds left.
Cosmic Divide invested. You see the paranoia. Dropped. Again, satcheling forward. Artsine there. Again, a little bit too trigger happy here.
Just an absolute madman.
But they've got to speed up on this. The blade's now blunted. And there's no way through. Noswar's got 10 seconds left. He's got the cabbages out. He's going to try to swing his way out to join it. He's got to take this fight on to Demon 1, but there's not going to be enough time, I don't believe.
No way.
Shot. Now a 1v2. What can Tex and Com do? They'll take care of that.
Noswar, it looked like he had a chance right there. Tex just too sharp right now. We said he was the man that needed to step up. Not allowing that 2v1 from the IGL of MIBR. Stopping the bleeding just a little bit. Giving Leviathan a fighting chance back into this map. Because if they had lost that round, their economy would have been broken. MIBR would be sitting at 7 rounds potentially.
Dude, whatever. That's a .06.
Ridiculous things we've been witnessing today here. Right now, it looks like it's going to be a lot of B pressure, a full B hit. We finally saw Artsine get punished on those double satchel entries. King taking him out that time, but King only with a Bulldog. Paranoia does connect.
Artsine feeling a whole lot of pressure, but the spam through, connecting.
Yeah, would have taken out Aspas too.
He tried. King's Bulldog dealing a little bit of damage, doing a little bit of work.
Do you invest the Viper's Pit here if you're Cortesia? I feel like you should. He gets taken out.
Yeah, he's not going to get a shot at it. Now a 2v2, Shenum committing to the plant. Tex is in a really good spot. The nade's going to help off the swing, though. He's going to try to play around this, and there's not a lot of room. Noswer against Tex. A 1v1. How does Noswer play this? Trying to get out, trying to stay alive, and Tex saves the day for Lev.
How many times is he going to bail Leviathan out? But at this point, he's Mr. Reliable. He keeps on giving for Lev. So many clutch moments, so many 1v1s won. And now Cortesia left thinking maybe he should have invested that Viper's Pit to secure that round. How many times is he gonna Nice work.
A timeout called, wisely so. The first from either side.
And of course, in map 3 fashion on split, it's a banger.
That is what they say, all bangers end on split.
Yeah, it's definitely what you say, that's for sure. You got me saying it now.
I mean, it's just right so many times.
Yeah, it is. It's such a good map. It's this back and forth chess game. MIBR, they were winning a lot of rounds with brute force. Tex, the one we said needed to step up, he's been doing just that. That's his role in this composition when you're playing against the double duelist. And okay, maybe it's not on the actual entries of the site, but when he's left alone, to be able to clutch up like that in 2 of the most impactful rounds when it comes to economy, when it comes to advantage, that's where you've seen his progression as a player.
I mean, he's kept them in this thing. He's answered the call.
Solely, and he's gonna have to deal with this overwhelming force that is the stinger of Artscene.
Satchel's Heart, remember, he hasn't been able to find any the last 3 times out. This will not be any different. The defense holding up just fine. Stalwart in their approach. Stalwart in their stand. A 1v1, again, it's Tex. Who else but Tex?
This time taking out Shedham to close it out. The other person on MIBR that has been winning every single clutch. Artscene is now getting punished. And you would think after the timeout from Fraud, maybe there's a mix of a game plan, maybe a better way to pad in, to enable Artscene to start getting a lot of those kills again. But the Nat setup.
Hey, Cian, you're cooking.
Yeah, the Nat setup was cooking right there. And so is Tex.
Lots of ults here. One of them popped. A flash to create a little bit of space. And he connects the fadeaway onto Calm.
But King with the swift trade.
The paranoia is going to buy a lot of time. And he's created some space. He's kept them at arm's length. Waiting for the smoke to dissipate, and now the bullets erupt, and they all go the way of MIBR. Cortesia holding the line. Pit put down. Is this a save? I think it is.
The rounds have been so close every single time. It's just been so many rifles getting out of the hands of each one another that even with Leviathan stringing a couple rounds together off of heroics from Tex, the economy is just so damned and doomed. Demon 1 looking for any type of exit. Maybe you can get that showstopper online for the next round, but MIBR, I thought they were just running their heads into a wall.
They have been the last couple of rounds.
But it worked. Finally, it worked. Demon 1 hearing a lot of footsteps here. He's going to take a peek, but I mean, if you drop here, that's a rifle gone.
That's a rifle gone, but an ult gain.
Yeah, that is true. Could be a wise trade-off. I will say, I don't think I've seen Demon 1 have that much impact with the Raze ultimates. Maybe he can change that here.
No, I do think that was an intentional call, yeah. Oh. To create a little bit of space.
Yeah, it's a fast reaction. Calm thought he had the one up. I don't blame him for going for a play like that.
No,
when it's
agree.
this close, it kind of feels like little things like that can really take your team over the edge, but he's been having a rough one. He's been getting punished.
And so again, look at the economy for Leviathan. You got a Judge, you got a Bucky, but you did exchange those for the ult of Demon 1. He's currently playing across the middle of the map. So he's not going to get any action early.
You do wonder, though, if that light armor is going to come back to bite him in the butt, because it's so easy to pluck him out of the sky. I mean, he's not even going to be in the sky. He has no satchels, and while that was all happening in the tank, he gets taken out by the signature outlaw buy.
You know, and for how fast these last couple of rounds have gone, how decisive MIBR have been, this is where they slow things down. This is where they decide that they want to play this carefully. The ult never even gets a shot.
Doesn't. Finally, that cool one-way cam is broken into heaven, and again, a lot falling on the back of Tex in this moment.
He's delivered, but our team is inevitable.
Spike down.
King left in a 1v4. The gamble to go for the ult for Demon One just doesn't pay off.
Spike planted.
Yeah, he walked down mid with it as well, not even having a chance to use it on a potential retake. All things considered, Leviathan, off of the back of Tex in this half, I think they've done a great job of making it close. So yeah, Ospas will secure the round win. It will be a 7-5 lead for MIBR.
Switching sides.
But for Leviathan, I think you weathered a lot of chaos very well.
I think the concerning thing as we start to think about the next half is that yesterday, MIBR won the majority of their rounds on defense.
Yeah, I will say though, a lot of those rounds were shown. So
Sure.
if Leviathan are prepped for this, if they have a good game plan going in on their attacking side like they did on Lotus,
We'll see how it plays out. We're going to take a break. The second half and the decider of Split on the other side. (15-9) out of RT, and as MIBR hanging on to a 2-round lead. And I think you can break down the nuance, you can break down the utility, but I think the reality is for our team, he shoots good. And he's been shooting way better than Lev have that entire half.
it's just so insane seeing how flexible a player like this can be and being able to go on the duelist role and just really turn it up.
Yeah.
He started it off on the pistol round, coming out mid, taking a head-to-head 1v1, winning it, going back, getting a 3K in the round, and we've seen him dominate yesterday with the judge on this defensive side, jumping on heads like he was on that attacking side with the shorty. It's something that you have to be very careful about if you're Leviathan. You have to be ready for something like that, and I just don't know how you can prepare for that.
They're going to have to figure it out. I don't mean to be ominous, but our team dropped 18 kills on their defensive half yesterday.
Yeah.
18.
And he already has 15. He's on track to get a 30 bomb
Scout destroyed.
in such a high-stakes moment.
A lot of presence towards A. The attack wins it out. The spike's not in hand. The rotation's not really popping over.
Yeah, but with that shot, statement made, B might be on lockdown. Oh my goodness.
He's hearing everything, but they knew where he was. Wise to it, realizing the middle of the map was a weak point. Try to shore that up. But now I think you've got 50 seconds left in the round. You have a couple of options. You know that Aspas is B, or at least that's where you saw him last. Smoke and the wall go up, but they're not going over there.
You do have the numbers advantage, though, so I like this approach from Leviathan. You can get the trades if somebody is holding an off angle right now. and you can kind of sneak in, weasel up.
30 seconds left.
The element of surprise.
Yeah, you almost don't want to use utility in the
Nope.
spot.
He's turning the flash, but he can't land the shot. Shenum is in a really good spot, but he's got 12 HP.
And of course he gets the kill.
Spike down, B.
I mean, a bullet between his eyes. Forget about the HP. 13 seconds left. They have to get the spike planted.
10 seconds left.
Waiting for the swing. There's not going to be enough time. They commit. Cortezia is not able to stand. The pistol going the way of Lev. I mean, they played that about as well as you could possibly ask for.
Yeah, I love the approach that they did after they got those 2 entries on A. And Demon won the supporting cast with King right there. It was a little bit of a 1-2 punch in that A main area. Yeah, nice shot, but just looking away for a little bit too long was Ospas in that very moment. So pistol for pistol right now. Leviathan, they have a chance to tie things up here. Maybe get Demon 1 a little bit closer to a showstopper of his own to use on the bonus. And of course, when you see Heartzine on this map, he's gonna have some type of shotgun in his hand. This time a Bucky.
Yeah, we've alluded to it a couple of times, but it bears repeating because of where he is right now. Cortezia found so much success across the middle of the map yesterday. He was impenetrable.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's why you're seeing so much emphasis put on him in this very moment. Trying to make sure that he's scared of playing in these spots where he was punishing EG most frequently.
They managed to shove him off the angle, send him back towards heaven.
Because he was playing in those spots, even with a Sheriff. It didn't really, he honestly had no fear in that match. So it is going to be a gamble for MIBR towards this A site, and they're choosing correctly. But if Calm can get this opener on the opposite side of the map against Shenum, it could change things, and he's just going to fall back. So right now,
It's on the Bucky.
yep. And these satchels, they're going to make a big difference for Demon 1. He's going to have to spot him out here.
Nody's got an nade too. There's the flash, there's the satchels. They were ready for it. Instantly looking that way.
30 seconds left.
They have a little bit of space to play around now. Cortezia still getting one.
Standing.
That's insane.
Spike
Yeah,
down
Cortesia's
A.
looking sharp, man. I'm scared for Leviathan if they approach mid again.
The thing is, it was going to require a whole lot more than just one.
Yeah, for sure.
So Lev get the spike down, MIBR. The round left in Shenum's hands.
Yeah, without those good satchels from Demon 1, Artsy
Maybe.
never gets booped off of that line. Like, if you watched his POV, he couldn't really get his crosshair settled because of that little entry pathing from Demon 1. So,
I think the flash helped tremendously too.
yeah. Makes you have to turn quite a bit. But Leviathan, they will secure this with 3 potential rifles. And they're sitting pretty healthy. Demon 1 wasn't really able to get anything going to get closer to that showstopper, but that's okay because we've seen on this specific map some crazy highlights with him with the Guardian. I mean, you remember that clip in B Heaven.
Yeah, he's good with it.
Yeah, he's so precise.
There's that flash. You swing out off the satchels.
You just see in the tank just run him down with a bulldog.
I mean, he knew what his job was.
But that one satchel just off-puts your crosshair. The Bucky, he didn't really move it at all.
Tied at 7-7. Hey, it's been we've talked about it. It's been heavily documented. Artsine was insane on MIBR's attacking side.
He played insane. It was mental.
The demand to replicate that success here. 7 apiece of lighter buy for Lev, a stinger, a dog out towards A, and Nasr getting pushed off the angle. The paranoia's been invested too, and Artsine is filling in on the space with what else than a judge.
Surely they know, but what can you do about it this time? It's not a Bucky.
Fool me once, but it doesn't seem like he's going to get a shot at this.
I mean, we saw this so much, though. The one-for-one trades for MIBR's defense, but they still converted almost every single round.
Do they check it again?
They know he's here.
Are they disciplined enough to check again? They knew. They swung him. They checked him.
I don't know how King lived in that moment. And remember, this is the bonus for Leviathan. Calm has weaseled his way all the way up B Heaven. He can secure this round win with a kill onto Aspas.
Well, not able to check that box.
Yeah, but look at the calling from Leviathan. King, off of
30
all that
seconds
pressure,
left.
understands that there's probably a heavy lean. They might have thought a rotation was coming through. And A site is completely open.
Spike crossed.
What utility are they going to have for the retake? Nazar has a flash, but they're planning for heaven. You've got Demon 1 up there. He's got to be able to hold the line. He's the key to the success here. Oh, they TP'd up. King has joined him. They're all up here. Trying to stand shoulder to shoulder. Duelist dealt with. And Aspas disposed of. Shannon snappy onto it. King meeting a similar fate. Now left on a 2v2.
They might be
Off
able
the
to stick
flash,
this.
off the swing. They've got to be able to win this space up in heaven. If Shenum can hold him back on his own, that very well might be it. Nazar's trying to stick it to half. That's 3/4 of the way. He's got to hit the swing the right side, and he can't. They lost the heaven fight, and they lost the round for it.
Shenum is becoming one of the most clutch players I have ever seen in the server. Taking out Demon 1, who had the only thing that could stop a full defusal of the spike. That head-to-head kill against King as well. He's unbelievable.
I got yous, okay?
He's turning out to be quite the superstar for this MIBR roster, and he bailed him out this time.
Early flash into the face of Tex, who has an outlaw this round. Oh, that's a lot mid. RT getting a lot of info. The dog's swinging head activity. He has to satchel back.
Did hear the judge as well, trying to break that Skydog. They're so worried about his positioning. He might get spammed in this spot too.
They're trying to get up over it. Again, no success for the shotgun. They've been forcing their way through this mid-fight, and so far, so good. Nazar is here, though. Tucked in the smoke. Now rotating away.
Yeah, all the meanwhile, Tex was just holding on to that A space, seeing if anybody pushed up. It's only Aspas on the other end here. But if you look at the minimap, MIBR now doubling up. They're going to get info in mid. They might be able to lean over towards this A site, have some backup.
Here. They're pinging back towards screens.
So worried about Vent.
I mean, as his seconds tick away, Nazar's filling in on that space to flash out. Aspas close, dashes away. Roomba chasing him down. You don't have time to flip the map here.
Oh,
You've got to commit, and Nazar has no idea, but Tex isn't looking either. Walks right into his crosshair. Leviathan avoid disaster, and we're tied again.
Oh, and you hate to see it, Nazar. Not clearing his corners, so convinced everybody was sitting in sight. And he's going to be beating himself up for that one. He's having a rough map, Doug. 2 and 12. His IGLing was good on the attacking side, but maybe a little bit of nerves setting in.
One enemy remaining.
And Tex, he didn't move his crosshair whatsoever. He was just so focused on screens. And he still gets 2.
Light buy for MIBR. A Guardian, a Bucky. Paranoia pushes Aspas away. They're gonna try to dance mid again.
Leviathan's approach on this attacking side, it's been very slow. Waiting for MIBR to do any type of aggression.
And so they know Cortese is there, and they know he's got a Guardian. That dog got a lot of info, and off of that, it seems like they want to go B.
Yeah, King is calling a great game right now. Dog to re-clear mid. That should be the cue for Leviathan to speed up a little bit.
I think the cue's equally for MIBR to turn attention towards B, and now the smoke has gone up. The rocket's been popped, and if we get to that point in the round, Aspas has blades. They're starting to rotate over.
Yeah, he pops him. He wants to go for it. I mean, why not?
76 HP. They've scaled up towards spawn. This is a lot for Shenum, and he can't hold him. They're not going to get a shot at this. Yeah, they got the blades, but it's a flawless round for Lev. They take the lead back.
Job well done. Another anti-eco in the books. But now, Leviathan are aware of the money that Aspas was sitting on. He's got an operator in his hands.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
And I don't think the approach is going to be anything different. I think...
Yeah! Yeah!
I love his reactions. I don't think that you're going to see a change of pace from Leviathan. I think they're going to try to sniff out this operator, formulate a plan around it. Tex, he's still sitting on that outlaw. And he could win the head-to-head if he meets Aspas walking into his crosshairs, because Aspas is sitting on that light armor.
Yeah, he's posted up towards A, though. We're not going to see that fight at least early on this round. Pit invested across the middle of the map from Cortesia.
Forget just Aspas. Everybody on MIBR have light armor. So even Shenum in this back B side, he needs to be careful. He's making a lot of noise jump spotting. If Tex peeks and gets that insta-kill, it could open up this defense.
King has gone exploring. Aspas is on the other side. The flash going to connect. And now a question for King. Do you swing into this? Former teammates here. But a freeze.
Yeah, Leviathan very convinced that Aspas could have been opping that close B angle that we saw him in yesterday. But he wasn't there. That being said, all the space they have was gathered. Aspas wins that head-to-head.
They did so well to play around the wall as long as they did, but King just overstepping a tiny amount. Oh, more rope magic. This time Kong winning that out. Our team spamming into the smoke, the flash in his face, the satchel's out. A brutal shot out from our team. 13 seconds left. The spike still hasn't made its way out, and the majority of the defenses are here. They're going to have to force this, and I don't think they can.
Leviathan stuffed at the B site. They guessed incorrectly. They thought the operator was posted on that close B line. That's why you saw the orb go up. That's why you saw the dog. And King, taking all that A ramp space, was not ready for that deep, deep off angle from Aspas. What a good job from the star duelist, one of Brazil's finest, to reposition all the way far back and allow somebody to walk into his crosshair. It's just a free kill at that point.
I think for as quiet as Artine has become, as he's been trying to force the judge and the Bucky in some of those tight spots, that kill onto Demon 1, satcheling across on his side is huge.
Yeah, he dodged the flash.
Yeah, and it was short time in the round.
Yeah.
I mean, he falls all of a sudden. They still have a lot more space on the side, and then, you know, maybe things go the other way, but big kill out from him.
And Doug, this timeout is almost certainly about how you're going to deal with the opping setups of MIBR. How are you going to maneuver around the map? You just saw Aspas at A. How are you going to fish out for this information? You might need to start using aggressive cams towards one side, Sky utility on the other. Start gaining information. Deduct where Aspas could be with that operator. You don't want to get first blooded by this. It's a huge win condition for MIBR, and it also opens up the opportunity for Artscene to start closing out some of these rounds.
One away from his ult. Currently A. Meanwhile, the op trains mid. Flash confirming there's no one up on the aggro angle ramps. And that's where Aspas is headed. Both duelists towards A. This is going to be a matter of timing because the info that they get from clearing out A ramps from the dog should queue for the rotate back B.
Yeah,
and that's where Lev are.
Yeah, but we've seen King get wicked with this Omen ultimate. There it is. He's going back sight with it.
If they can land on the dog bite, he's fully sticking it. Meanwhile, Demon 1 not able to find his way out. King back sight. Again, the defense holds. Stuffed B yet again. MIBR take the lead.
And you were so right, dog. It was the Sky that was able to relay all that information to allow all the B anchors to focus on their crosshairs, get ready for that site execute. And that's one we've seen so many times. That's a playbook that's all the way back from last year. Nice! What? And you see the importance of what that round is for MIBR. That's the man that is usually calm, composed, collected. He is out of his chair right now.
Up in the hands of Aspas and that knee, not connecting. Such a close shot. And as you've said before, Aspas shows his presence mid, now repositions. Not staying in the same spot.
He's going all the way back into B site.
Cortezia playing this off angle. Beautiful if you're MIBR. Because they don't, I mean, what do they use to clear this out?
Yeah, but he could get overwhelmed in this moment. A ping. Oh, he's walking on him.
Suspicious. Got to be careful here. Calm is close by.
Yeah, he'll get traded out if he
But
goes
it's just
for
a
it.
stinger. Whoa!
A whiff.
Buzzing right by his ear. And now an acceleration across the middle of the map. Flash traded. Cortezia again. Asked to deliver for MIBR. Finds his one onto Demon 1. And now they can reset off the round. Taking a quick step back, realizing Leviathan, they're the ones who have to make the play. The paranoia out towards B, but they're ahead of it.
30
Not
seconds
buying.
left.
Not taking the bait. Noswer's in a really good spot, and yeah, he's had a rough map, but he can secure this here. On to Tex, and now more A. Artzine has his rockets, and he's the only one back A. 2 satchels invested. And now the rockets pop, 10 seconds left. It's a matter of time. How much more can you delay? How much more can you deny? King's trying to do his best, but he can't get it down. MIBR get to 11.
Setting the pace, setting the tempo, and they can feel it. They're popping off. They're getting out of their seats.
I think Cortezia continues to establish himself on mid.
And you know who else has awoken in the server? It's Noswer. He was the only one that wasn't stepping up to the plate mechanically on this last map. They can feel it. They know this game is theirs. This would be the first time MIBR would have taken out Leviathan ever.
Cage is out towards A. Up high, back for the attack. The defensive side up hasn't found a ton these last couple of rounds, but it hasn't had to.
It's just the pressure alone of where he's positioned. Tex, he got lucky on that last one that he survived. That Aspas whiffed, because that's not something you can rely on. Good utility here.
It's diligent, but Aspas is going to have a shot to do it again. Procs his dash, but the spit, the smoke, everything is keeping him back. As it expires, he's going to have another shot at this. Calm has his ult. He's playing on the site, now dropped. And MIBR, it seemed like they're going to try to re-clear ramp.
They have to. It's the only way in.
King is so far back, though. I mean, the timing on this is everything. The flash not connecting on anyone. King's barrel spotted. Trigger discipline. But do you swing on a second? Do you clear another one? No! It's again disaster for Leviathan. Calm and Demon 1 have to hold them back on his own. And forget about numbers. You need magic. Can Calm play around his pit? Artzine has already gotten the defuse 3/4 of the way. And MIBR gets a series point.
The former champions just can't get the job done here. Overwhelmed by the tempo MIBR set in the first half. Now when they get the ball rolling on the defensive side.
One enemy remains.
Noswer online. Shenum online. Leviathan, they're crumbling.
MIBR are at the doorstep of their greatest performance in the partnership era. A top 4. With Bangkok still up in play, still up for grabs. But they often say the last step is the hardest. Can you put Leviathan away? Can you deal a devastating death blow? A roster that was built to compete for championships. Artzine on the swing, Tex overwhelming him, and now the neural theft.
Toxin screen down.
Calm is going to be on this late lurk. And they know where Aspas is. They're going to try to accelerate off this, but remember, there's more than just Aspas here.
Screen down.
It's been powered by committee for MIBR. The satchel through, Demon 1 up close and personal, the Guardian, finding its mark.
Time to hunt.
And now the dog off the swing. The need for a 3v5 or the map continues. Money's in a great spot here for MIBR. Calm is on the lurk. If you're Leviathan, you're going to want to get Demon 1 to get one step closer to this ult, so you maybe have it in the next round. But you've got to survive here first. And they've got him huddled in. Even if they win this round, the money's going to be really bad for Leviathan. They've got to try to save as many of these as they can. That could be the difference maker. That's one rifle down. Traded back, though. They carry 2. But they've got nowhere to go. This fight is going to be huge, and Aspas gets both out! Yes, Leviathan win the round, but at what cost?
What an important, impactful decision to be made from MIBR. The economy for Leviathan, as you said, it's completely broken. With all those kills, yeah, they win the round. Yeah, they give themselves a fighting chance. But they have worse weaponry in this round than the last.
Light armor on 3 members, a Bulldog, a Guardian.
And Demon 1, he has to come up huge with the showstopper. If not that, he has to land every single shot.
Now Tank has his ult as well. A lean towards B. This is fast. They're fully committing onto this, and again, the suck! Traded 1 for 1. Both raises off the board. And now a 4v4. Look at how far back Shenum is here. Tex has a chance to make a really big play. There's a lot of noise being made, and he's buying his time. He's playing it perfectly. Off the dog, he's been spotted. He slipped the net, but now he knows. Aspas drops him. 3 members left on either side. As the spike ticks away, King gets another. They're going to be able to convert off of this. Barring heroics from the 2 that remain. Can Shenum do it on his own? No.
One round to bring it to OT. Leviathan have dug deep.
We talked about it, Trey. The last step is often the hardest one to make. And so, yeah, you've got Lev on the ropes.
But closing it out, that's a different story. Final timeout of regulation.
In case you didn't have enough suspense,
Oh my goodness.
let's go ahead and take a break and think through what's going on here. We've talked about the stakes a couple of times, but it's worth hitting because this is the last round of regulation. MIBR win this, they best Leviathan. A top 4 finish, still in the fight for Bangkok. And the tone, the identity around this organization changes. From bottom feeders to competing on the international stage would be huge. And I think on the other side of the stage, you've got to look at Leviathan, a roster that was built to compete. You signed Demon 1, intending to take the place of Aspas, and yeah, that's much easier said than done, but this is where you find out what you're made of.
And it looks like it's just gonna be an A hit here. Aspas with the operator. He needs to hit this shot. He needs to be the leader. Not just out of the server this time. He's got to get the job done inside of it.
It's going to be fast. They've got the cam that's going to spot him pretty quickly. The flash, turn, not committing. He's got to get up, he's got to get out, and he can't. Signs of life for Leviathan, but they're instantly snatched back as Tex falls. They're fully investing into this. Hard scene settling the shots. Now a rocket of his own from on high. Only one found. A 2v2. As there's a brief moment of respite. The spike now committing onto the side, a second guess, and now
Poison's on.
dropped. Silence across the map. Guessing on where either team can be. Com's got to play this up close. With the newest addition to the roster, the European import side by side, the gravity well, you know the swing is inevitable, and attack's there to hold the line. Shenum's been clutch, but a 1v2 clutch, that's a big ask. And 6 bullets left, 2 targets to find. A reload.
Concealment.
Ballsy to go Astral Form there. He's gonna get spammed through a tap. Can he find it? No! Regulation, not enough. We're going to overtime.
What a punish onto Aspas. All that utility, it was just too much. He got completely overwhelmed. And that's something that you don't see. Aspas, he's the one that makes the clutch moments. He's the one that finds the opening to close out maps for his team. This time, he had the knives online. He had an op in his hands, and he got nothing done.
Let's go. Come on.
It's tried, but it is true. Pressure makes diamonds.
Here.
Yet to be decided who's going to be shining. Fast from MIBR towards A. And a reset of the situation. Cam getting a little bit of info. But MIBR not fully pouncing off of this. Now they're dropping the Astra Stars A. There is no second plan. There is no plan B. There's no late lurk. There's just Artzine. Cracks the site wide open.
I have the spike.
And he gets the showstopper online.
Spike planted. My ult's ready.
Calm announcement of the payload.
Fire in the hole.
And now,
Just
popped.
delay.
The fuse lit. Time bought. I fired it a little bit earlier than I expected.
This paranoia is going to get a lot of value. A lot of members hit here. Aspas, he gets caught out once again.
Even one, striking when the moment's right. But again, MIBR holding the line. It's all on to Calm. A 1v3. Make that 2. Time short. 67 HP. It's not happening. Cortesia does it again, and MIBR find themselves one step away once more.
And it's so impressive to be able to switch after that grueling defense that you had to go through.
What a play.
How slow you had to approach the rounds, the retakes against Leviathan, and then to be able to explode on a dime like that. Artzine, he's a real master on this raise, Doug. And that was such a clutch entry on that man right there, who was so good on the defensive side for Leviathan.
Fraud getting involved in the conversation.
This is a great moment. You're in the lead, you take a timeout, you can reinforce everything that you need to do if you're Fraud in this moment.
Yeah, I think here, if you're MIBR, you're going, yeah, how do we set up Aspas? You imagine he's going to be running the glass cannon op. And if you're Leviathan, given how proficient it was and how prevalent it was on their defensive side, you've got to know what's coming.
And for Aspas, so far, he's been getting punished on taking these aggressive angles with the operator. Maybe, just looking to fall back on a more passive line. Allow the fight to come to him.
Maybe, but you've also got 2 swords here. Because even if Aspas doesn't find value with the op, our team's dropped 24. Oh, it's going to be fast towards A? And Aspas is here. Glass cannon op.
This is what happened last time, though.
Again, the opportunity. Remember how Aspas was punished here. You're right. But it's a different line. It's a different angle. He was low. Now, peeking and connecting. Calm down.
Scout destroyed.
More to be found, though. You see the smoke going back sight. The defense taking a step back. They realize they have the advantage, and Aspas does it again. Slowly being picked apart. Hopes and dreams starting to dash and quickly becoming nightmare. Again, 3 remaining for Lev. And a weapon change for Aspas. The problem just got notably harder. He's got the dash procced. The nades do both double duelist. King starting to get flushed out. He got the short. He cannot connect onto it. It's only Texan attack now. Pressure from heaven, pressure from main. Again, corners closing in, and he will fall. Made in Brazil, but thriving in North America. Their best performance in the partnership era. MIBR advance.
A legacy-defining battle that we have just witnessed. With an interview of Fraud, he said, This roster wasn't his plan A, it wasn't his plan B, it wasn't even C, it was D. As soon as Aspas became available, they dropped everything for him, molded a team around him, and he took up such a big role. He's not just a star duelist anymore. He's not just Brazil's finest. He's a leader to a younger generation that put on such an amazing performance in this series. And Naswer, you gotta think, man, when he was sitting at the sidelines watching Aspas, who was supposed to be his duo for that year, it's gotta feel good beating Leviathan, the team that he was supposed to do it with.
I think for MIBR, yeah, they've made top 4, and yeah, you gotta talk about how they've gotten here. Right, a grueling lower bracket run, but the job's not done. The job is far from done.
Top 4 secured, Doug, for the first time. Artzine is so impactful on this raise. He's honestly such an impressive player. The fact that he could play the initiator and switch it up and be as explosive as he is, making plays like this. But Aspas, yeah, he fumbled a couple times and a lot of those closing rounds in regulation, but that second overtime, or that overtime, man. Those 2 operator kills, you just felt it.
He was the finisher. He was the closer.
He always is. He always is.
Enemy remaining.
You see it one more time. An outrageous performance. We talked about how it was likely they were going to invest the glass cannon op, and I mean, they hit it. And they hit it at just the right time.
And he hit both shots.
Yep. Plenty to be excited for MIBR. Again, this was a roster that was built to change the tides. That was built to be able to compete. When you got Aspas, you've got Naswer, and then you have Artzine, there's a lot to be excited about. And I think we learned a lot about this team today. They got rinsed by 100 Thieves. Let's not sugarcoat it. They did not look good at the beginning of the year, and we thought, oh, it's just going to be more of the same for these guys.
They also got rinsed on the first map of the series on Lotus. But to bring it back and just in a grueling fashion on that second map, getting ecoed time and time, and then having this type of performance, winning in overtime. That's so much experience now under the belt for this squad.
We've got to say goodbye to Leviathan here. An early exit, I think earlier than anyone would have anticipated. Again, this was a roster that was built to win, and they find themselves taking a quick trip into the offseason. We're going to send it down to Elizabeth on the stage for the Verizon post-match interview with Naswer.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We end a map in OT because how else would we do it? And it's Naswer from MIBR, the man that led your team. And you and I were just talking. You were a little down on yourself because you weren't really getting that many kills towards the end of the map. But Naswer, let's be very, very clear. You led your team. You made the calls to get here and to get past the OT. But talk to me about the energy, like you were saying before.
Yeah, I think that last map was about energy. I was doing like a good performance in the last map, but also our team is doing the IGL.
Yeah.
So we are like together making some calls for the team, and I think in the split it was really hard to play in defense for me. I feel a little bit, but for sure the last rounds we could find what we need to do to win the game.
I mean, absolutely. And I want to talk about kind of the Aspas moment, obviously.
Yeah, he destroyed.
You take it away. Talk about Aspas.
Aspas is the best of the world. You know, like for me, he's the best player of the world, and he always show it. Like every game that he plays, he's always doing good calls, and he's very chill. You know, in the game. So he gives a lot of confidence for the team. So what we need to do when we are like closing one side of the map and everything. So yeah.
Simple as that. Is the best player in the world. Chill guy. Something I want to ask you about is we were talking a little bit before this as well, and you said there was a lot going into today, right? A lot of prep, a lot of work, and this has been a grueling lower bracket run for MIBR thus far. Talk to me about that prep for today.
I think like we prepared like each game. Like when we are facing a new team, we are studying them. We know what we need to do to win, but at the same time is what the tournament starts now, you know, like it's every game, every day you have a new opponent. So yeah, we're gonna wait the next match
Next match. And
Next match is
KRU or Loud? Who do you think it's going to be?
I think like Loud. I think it's gonna be Loud. I feel like they're playing better for now. But you know, KRU is a team that he can always, you know, come back. So yeah.
They're scrappy. They're sneaky.
Yeah, yes, indeed. It's very good.
Everyone give for Nazar one more time, everyone. It's an astounding performance from ABR and yourself. We're going to take a break, but you know what match is next. It is Loud versus KRU Visa.
I've got a bunch of different mice.
When you find the one, you know it's the one.
전 이게 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
Look at this. Isn't this perfect?
누가 만들었는지 알려주는 것도 같이 들어있고.
This mouse is ready for a fashion show.
It's Pulsar by me.
It's by me.
It's Pulsar by you.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secretlab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
O drone não viu o Cauãzinho.
Meu Deus, o Cassidy não sabia! O Cauãzinho fechou todo mundo!
Bueno, siento que el primer partido que tuvimos contra Loud no veníamos muy preparados, no veníamos con semanas seguidas de entrenamiento, pero después de ese partido siento que mejoramos mucho, siento que trabajamos demasiado también en nuestros errores, en encontrar el camino que tenemos que tener para poder jugar el partido.
No more sound cues and shy! Goodness me, that's monstrous! He does not care, man!
Eu acho que, de modo geral, sempre tem aquela rivalidade por eles já ganharem bastante dos times brasileiros de modo geral. Eles também me eliminaram na época da Fúria no LCQ. Então eu acho que as linhas ou as estrelas do mundo aí vão se encontrar novamente. Claro que hoje em dia os dois times são muito mais preparados, são muito mais dinâmicos, então acredito que vai ser um jogo igual do primeiro split, um jogo difícil, vai ser definido ali quem tiver melhor.
Welcome back, everyone, to day 9 of VCT Americas Kickoff and our final match of the week. It's Brazil versus LatAm. Once again, it's Loud versus Kruvisa. GB here alongside Vansili and Ender, and you heard Digis in there in that video leading into this saying it's like fate. Cruz had a number of Brazilian teams in the past. This is an opportunity for Loud maybe to shock us all.
I mean, they already proved it once before going into the upper bracket, so this is a nice little rematch, though. But what I like, at least from Cruz's side, is that we did see a little bit of a resurgency from that team by defeating Energy yesterday.
Yeah, that was an absolutely wild series of games, going the 30 maps right. Crew getting down and dirty towards the end with a few insane performances from Shy consistently towards the end of that fight.
It really was incredible to watch, and we're loving everything we're seeing from Crew. Can they keep that momentum going? But before we get into this matchup, we want to break down some plays, figure out what's going on. We've
I got you.
No, actually, no, Ender, we got Brennan's Sideshow here to play a new game. It's called Surprise Telestrator. Nothing can go wrong. All right, Brennan, take it away.
Okay, so here's how it's going to work. The Surprise Telestrator, I'm going to run a clip here, or we pulled a clip. I don't know what it is. Josh doesn't know what it is. And Josh, you're going to blindfold yourself right now. You're going to put these headphones on
that's
right
so
now.
cute.
I'm going to telestrate it.
Can we get
He's going to try and figure out what I was trying to show afterwards. He's going to try and telestrate it himself. We're going to see how well our brains are interlinked. Now, we're actually not going to do that at all, by the way, because he can't hear a thing, he can't see a thing. Instead, I've been trolling Josh consistently the past few weeks when we've been co-streaming. I've been showing him over and over and over again. Now, I don't know how we're going to show this. Is the clip built in here? I'm not too sure, but here's some context.
I was busy screenshotting the poll.
8-4.
Where's the poll?
In the lead,
I don't see a screenshot.
Up on the score line of BBL. This pistol round could propel them towards the finish line and buy a third map for the series. For BBL, they're hoping it's the exact opposite of that. They want to fight the...
Two separate, different things. What is this? Bren's Blue Sky post? If this is a Martha Stewart cow...
So I've been getting his ass.
Knew exactly what he was doing. This knew exactly what he was doing when he tweeted this, didn't he? He knows that people are gonna use it, link it constantly, and the views are gonna go through the roof. This son of...
So there's the context for you all. I've been getting his ass. He doesn't have a clue. He does not have a clue. And now, we're going to pretend like I've done it. And we're going to pull the clip up again. And I'm going to tap him on the shoulder. Okay. Here's the clip.
Huh?
Yeah. It's like you've emerged from the darkness. Here's a clip.
Welcome, Sideshow.
Go ham. Let's swap sides.
Crew versus NRG. Yeah, you cast this game yesterday, so you should remember this.
Pistol round.
Crew versus
Pistol
NRG.
round.
Yeah, you casted
this.
I didn't cast this game.
Yes, you did.
Fraudulent imposter.
There was a bald man with a mustache.
So this was round 13. This was the pistol round, and what we're taking a look at here is Crew doing a little bit of their short control. Sorry, that's showers. Dude, I don't even cast this game. Showers. I know when you've done the Stuart cow on the broadcast like this, man. I thought this was a serious establishment.
No, we got your ass.
I thought this was professional. I can't even telestrate the cow.
You can't telestrate over.
I can't even draw on the cow.
We've got a cast now, too.
What letter is that? Sideshow, what letter is that?
That's an L.
That's an L.
And what is that on the screen?
This is an L.
No. What is that on the screen there, Josh?
That's a cow.
And what do you get when you put them together?
L cow. I don't know.
Martha Stewart cow. Anyway.
You dumbass.
That was the whole segment. That was it. That was the whole segment. That was literally it.
Absolutely worth it in every conceivable way. Go cash your damn game. All right, guys. That was awesome. Let's go ahead and get into our next matchup.
He's still walking out stunned.
Because I think he is shocked that we all as a unit coordinated this.
That is true.
And made it happen. It's all day, by the way.
We take valuable time from our story meetings.
Yeah, we hung out all day. He had no idea. It was the best thing ever. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on, though. Talk about our next matchup. We got Loud. Now, this is a team that truly has defied expectations this year because this is a squad that really came into this year, Ender, and no one was giving them the time.
Everyone expected them to be the worst Brazilian team here in Americas, and now they are looking like the best one, right? Like, they've come out of the gate absolutely firing. Digizin is on top of the world, and yes, they lost to Sentinels just a moment ago, but they pushed Sentinels the distance, a full 3 maps from them with a really impressive first map in that series, too. This team could do a lot more damage than people were thinking.
The second series was when we started taking double takes into like, okay, wait, hold on. This is something real, because also against KRU, it wasn't a close game. They looked really good as a unit, and Digizin always at the helm at that as well.
Yeah.
And now it's going into this game with this rematch. They also still have a chance to face off against their Brazilian compadres going to the next round potentially.
Oh yeah, and of course there is all that history there as well between, you know, the teams playing against each other, the region as well.
Yeah.
But you know what? Look, guys, I mean, we owe Loud an apology. We were not familiar with their game. So you know what? What we decided to do is make an apology form. We made an apology form, everyone, because we totally just bailed on Loud. So here we go.
Dude.
I'm gonna just, what is it?
Van Silly.
Here you go. GB, right there on this side.
Yeah, no, I was a DGZ's doubter, for sure.
Today.
February 2nd. Oh,
I also put too much
sense.
faith in Sodak and Less.
Yeah.
I miss Ospas.
Yeah. I was not a DGZ doubter, so I will not check that.
Nope.
I'm familiar with STK's game.
Did I have NA bias?
I only have one, which is NA bias.
I wouldn't say that I was biased. I think I was just wrong.
I'm signing here for NA bias.
Did I miss Aspas and Green? Sí, claro.
Yeah.
Too much faith in Sadak and Less? Hey, también. Was not familiar with STK's game? Sí se puede. No, I'm not a
hold on,
DGZ doubter.
like, je ne croyais pas en DGZ. OK. J'ai trop mis d'espoir en Sadak et Les. OK. Japanese?
What do you have? What do you have on your phone there? You weren't familiar with...
We'll have to say.
Hey, look at that. What's crazy is that you can actually speak Japanese better than I can speak Spanish, and you definitely can speak French better than I can speak Spanish. So that is the sad reality of my life. All right, folks. Well, look, let's just go ahead and say it, right? We owe them an apology, and we also have to acknowledge that Pencada is, in fact, him. This guy has been playing great, and on top of that, he has been this anchor for the team, for the Loud organization for such a long time, and I would imagine that expertise comes with some confidence.
100%, that's the main thing, anchor for the team, but even anchor in the server. Christy was mentioned before that, you know, he's going to be an unstoppable force going into this one as well. I mean, even when they pushed Sentinels to the limit, and he still put great numbers onto that, and impressive numbers on the defensive side as well as an anchor player.
Yeah, specifically, I was looking at the first map that they were able to win when Pancada's on the Omen over on Lotus, and that guy was up 5-0 in first kills, and that's a map where you are unusually challenged, I think, as a smokes player, because oftentimes on the Omen, you're the one actually taking a lot of those first contacts because you've got the verticality to play over towards Rubble. You're playing off your one-ways on C as well. So I think it's very important on a map like that. You've got a guy that can frag like he did.
And important to stay alive on a map like Lotus, because that paranoia, if you're not running more util than that, is going to be one of the most important pieces for the retake. So again, a phenomenal player for this roster.
Yeah, Pencada has just always been an individual that whenever you see him there, you're like, he's got to be good for 1, got to be good for 2, right? And now I feel like we're seeing him evolve even further.
He's good for 3.
Yeah, he's good for 3. 4. I mean, yeah.
Or dare I say, 5.
No way. Good God, man, are you crazy?
I don't know.
Right,
6?
now you're off the goop.
I mean,
all right, let's send it over to Elizabeth and hear from DGZ.
DGZ, this is a rematch between Loud and KRU in the upper. You want to shake my hand? You can shake my hand. You're good. In the upper. Well, this is the rematch between Loud and KRU in the upper bracket. And now KRU look significantly better than they did last time. Do they post more of a threat than last time to you guys?
Eu acho que vai ser uma partida interessante. Como você disse, é uma revanche. Os caras estão querendo ganhar e perdeu tá fora. Mas aquilo que eu falei antes, eu não me importo com eles. A gente está bem preparado. E o que vier para eles é bala. É isso.
No, he said he's ready for it. It's going to be a very interesting match. Of course, that sounds like a comeback for them, but you know, I don't really care about it. I'm just prepared to give them a bullet.
Best of luck. Yeah, I like it. I like this necklace too. This is nice. This is
Prepared to give them a bullet. And on top of that, I want to take that chain. I think I'd rock the hell out of that, personally.
You think so?
I got mine. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
All right, let's relax there, okay? This guy clearly gets paid too much. All right, well, look, Digizin, right? He was talking about this, right? He wants to, he's confident. He's going to pull a bullet in the head. He's ready to go. So if this is the case, right, I'm assuming you're going to really be leaning on Digizin in this.
Yeah, no, I think that he is absolutely shocked, and primarily with the operator. Look at that, 50% of rounds on defense. He's rocking the op, and it's because DGG, or rather Loud, are winning these early rounds. They're making sure he has enough money to purchase that op in round 3 or round 4, and he's been absolutely crushing with that in his hands.
To be honest, give him anything. Because again, I think if you witnessed that matchup yesterday, he was also able to play with a rifle on top of that. Not yesterday, but over in general. Going into the playstyle of Digizin, yes, there's going to be a lot of importance in the operator kills, as you could see that he leads on the board. But if the economy stays low and there is still a game plan to shut down Digizin on the operator, boy, is he still efficient on the rifle.
Yeah, that was the thing that we were talking about yesterday. Like, hey, how good is this guy going to be with that particular item in his hands? Yeah. Turns out it's fine. He's perfectly okay.
I still do think, though, that if you look at the amount that he is playing with the op, it comes down to how important the first few rounds of a game can be. Because if you can win that critical, first buy round of the operator, take that out of his hands, then very often, that team that bought the op is forced into multiple rifle rounds coming in after that because they can't quite build up to that level if you win a few of those in a row. So for KRU, I do think it's very important to focus on those rounds 4 through 6 primarily, to get that out of his hands, because yes, he's fine with the rifle, but his operator is top of the league at the moment.
Dude, really
that's what has been so impressive.
It truly has been, and that's a great note. But for those of you at home, pay attention to that. Keep eyes on it. See how things go in the early parts of the matchup and whether or not it all comes to fruition. Now let's go ahead and move on to Loud's opponent today, because they're going to be going up against KRU VCT. Now, after years of heartbreak and losses, they finally took down FNS and eliminated NRG from the kickoff tournament. What a showing for them.
For context here, going into this series, KRU's historic win rate versus FNS, 5-0 in series, and they were 0-5 in series and 1-10 in maps. They'd only won one singular map before winning the series.
Oh, we'll take this one then, huh, Ventily?
Came back with a vengeance for sure. They definitely shut all of us up, actually, going into this one, because when you look at the predictions, again, there was a crazy one from Bren, but at the same time, he was right.
I just don't want to give him credit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But
kind of
have to.
But he was right. He did mention that before as well, even on Plat Chat, about he did feel like this team had something special. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of feel the same way. I really like what this team showed. And guys, I think we got to get another apology. We just got to get another apology. Okay, here we go. Just here we go. Another apology form, everyone. We're all just print it out, sign it. Now, look, here's the thing. We were swayed by Doug. So that will 100% be the thing. Is Doug here to defend himself, to say anything? No, and we don't care. Now, we thought Bren's prediction was a prank.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. 100%.
I just thought he was trolling, to be fair. I didn't think it was a prank.
The old heads called that
It wasn't an El Cal prank, but it was definitely a troll.
And then too many, they're going to go on a run jokes.
100%.
Let's be honest.
100%.
We've bled that rock dry.
I don't say
Sideshow.
that, for the record.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, you said it, Sideshow.
What?
You
No.
said that for the record.
No, I'm Ender. You're thinking
of
the other guy.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I know. They look the same.
It's been a long week.
And then jealous of Kesnit's hair. Yeah, I would definitely go with that. Yeah,
Recency bias?
Recency
This?
bias.
I'll put it on.
Honestly, I'll just do the whole thing.
I apologize.
I will not be apologizing. I will not.
he's here.
Oh my God!
What? No,
What are you doing? I didn't check your thing, dude. Relax.
Just take it and rip it. Just
So,
rip my
no
palm.
witnesses.
I wasn't even here.
No witnesses. Everything was perfect.
For the record,
This is why we can't have nice things.
I will not be apologizing. I voted against them because they got smoked by Loud, who they're playing today. I used my eyes. I wasn't biased. I wasn't swayed by anyone. I did this of my own accord.
Yeah, that's right.
They got smoked by Loud.
Well, that's awkward.
You can't buzz me for that. It is a fact. Check VLR.
Oh, I know that website.
Production.
Now, there is one more individual that I think could be a difference maker for this team, and it's Shy. Yeah. That game he had, yes, I mean, we were really blown away by what he was bringing to the table while Ender's fighting against the guys. Vansili, do you think that Shy is capable of that game again? I certainly think he can.
Definitely, and you also had in that series maybe not the strongest performance to start for Shy when things started in one of the maps, and then he just ended up this
map.
I think right here on Vine, he came out with a 4K towards the end to even get the map and series points. So he is going to be definitely a great impact player, and also continues to stay aggressive despite the record that he starts with, to just continue with the game plan and the responsibility that he has. Find those timings, keep pushing, and when you anchor, start anchoring.
This guy was such a rat on defense, Vine. Genuinely, the movements he was making on sites to play around smokes, to play around tube over on B especially, sometimes sneaking up under window. Like, this guy is a rat. You've got to actually put so much focus into clearing him away, because if you don't, he's going to tear you up.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall task no matter how you slice it, folks. A great game is on the horizon. KRU versus Loud. So let's go to the stage and bring out our teams.
Riot Games Arena, cerramos la semana con un lower bracket que tiene mística porque están ellos. ¡Que se escuche para KRU
Visa! This is the Cinderella story that, well, it's the forever Cinderella story.
Yeah, the Cinderella they've made every single
I'm not saying that, I'm just saying in general.
But they always start a little bit slow. Winning today would start heating them up, because this team is going to have to go all the way through the lower bracket if they want to represent Americas in Bangkok.
I just also feel that, they're always able to make appearances here at Champions, but we don't really see them too much towards Masters. So it's nice that their turnaround starts very early in the season at kickoff, a lower bracket run, and a rematch match is actually great.
Nunca duvide deles. Faz o L, muito barulho pra Loud!
The last time Loud faced off against KRU right here at kickoff. It was one of our earlier matches on the 18th of January. 2-0 count for Loud. And when you look at the games themselves, that really split was the only opportunity that they had to try and come back and win that game. Loud were in the driver's seat for honestly, the entire time throughout that first series.
Yeah, and look, you might see them walking out with 5 players and a coach, but there's a 7th coming into play here today, and that is Dujuzin's bullet he has prepared for KRU.
The bullet is in the house. It's in the impact zone. Yes, no, it's going to be certainly fascinating to see if Digizin and Kesnet in their head-to-head duelist matchup, how many times they're going to get one over on each other with those first kills, first deaths.
To be honest, I still think looking at this game today, it's so hard to predict. I think if it was, again, going back to the upper bracket, I would have given it to Loud. But the preparation that came out from Adam that he mentioned when they got the map win against the first map win against Energy, they talked about the immense preparation that they put into that, the reads that they had, even catching Ethan off TPs in the spawn and waited for him to kill him. So if they have the same type of preparation going for this game against Loud, it's going to be a banger.
To me, this map pool is pretty interesting as well. We saw yesterday KRU's Bind versus NRG, how intense that was, right? With Shy and Adverso especially, like something Loud are going to have to look out for are those aggressive walks Adverso was going for on defense, where he was getting a ton of kills.
I'll say though, Trial by Fire, they had to go through Madi yesterday.
That is true.
That is tough,
true.
because he was playing aggro on them.
They still did.
And talk about a player that KRU are going to have to get through. Move on to that second map. That's Haven. That's a map where Digizin absolutely farmed Kesnet the last time these teams faced off.
I think they just have to go through the whole team on Haven, because their attack side for Haven has not been the best at all this tournament. So to still be able to keep that and float that through, and almost on paper looks like a freebie here for Loud, I hope that they have a better preparation than that, because their defensive side, definitely good. Definitely a lot of firepower into that.
You know what shattered my brain though? I was actually kind of shocked to see Fracture get banned by KRU.
Both these teams are just banning Fracture.
Guys, if you're playing against a Brazilian team, learn Fracture.
Play the game,
Like, come on. All right, here's the composition. The brims out there from Elzu, as you can see. I like that Shy with Vice. Good to lock down those sites.
Yeah, and again, what he does on the B site, especially his movement around there, is going to be something Loud are going to have to come in with a strong plan to deal with. Similar things that KRU are going to have to fight against. They saw the KO yesterday coming in from NRG, but that deadlock, I think this is Deadlock's best map and has a lot of fun stuff. You can do execing the side with the crouch nade.
We have not seen a lot of deadlock in this competition, so this is going to be quite fascinating. Let's go ahead and send it over Riot Games Arena. Make some noise for your casters. It's Bren, Halagib, and Sideshow.
Real Sideshow. Yeah, I've seen the golden path, and it's LATAM and Brazil in the top 4. At some point, eventually, it's going to be happening. But listen, this is a game between two orgs with a lot of history in Valorant overall.
Tons.
And they're quite even, actually. They're 2-2 over the course of their history, playing against each other, but they got recent history, too. This is a grudge match for, you know, essentially KRU, who got knocked down to the lowers. Their chance to potentially bounce back.
The first time that we saw these two teams clashing, it was a 2-0, and to be honest, I was really disappointed with what I saw from KRU. They looked limp in that game. Yeah. They didn't look like they had a fire lit underneath them. But as we go into this one, the Samsung match start, you can load up fast with Samsung SSDs. Let's talk about KRU getting off to a fast start, because they need the pistol rounds. That was a big thing for them when they played against NRG. They need to deny pistol rounds from Dejazine, take the operator out of his hands. Going to be especially important when Loud is on the defense side.
Absolutely. Starting off. Strong beginning here. Early signs of life out towards B long. Kesnit. Hot shots rattled across. Vinny's going to be dropped though, and he was alone in the making with that one. So the rest of his team over towards A, even pulling that rotation, shy away, but Thorns.
This is such a nice pistol round strategy. KRU stack over towards B and push down B long, make that pressure. Expecting Loud to react into A, and they're running into all of this Vice util. Thorns everywhere, wall in showers, and Adverso to take contact in lamps.
Yeah, vitally important that he wins that one out as well, and time being bought. You can see the backside control here for Loud. It's not quite there still. Let's see if they can get a couple of more kills going their way, but KRU are lighting them all up. A pistol round, great beginning. It's what set them apart the other day versus NRG, being able to win out early.
Yeah, they got so many good starts to those maps, to those halves. Able to also come up with great bonus round ideas, even when they had very light weaponry. I was super impressed with the preparation that KRU had brought to the table. They also came out with specific anti-strats against what they were expecting from NRG. I don't necessarily think this game is going to be as full of anti and reads on the opponents, even despite the fact that this is a rematch game. Oh my God.
They're getting into it.
But it is going to be full of passion and fire. Oh my God, what a way to start.
There's that beef.
That's literally round one.
Yeah.
You've not proven anything. And they're up throwing their chair backwards.
That's how much it matters to them though. Week one, we're Loud. The ones who knocked KRU down.
And not just that, remember that these teams are only a few wins away from being able to make it to Bangkok. The last time that we saw some of these big names, Pancada and Adverso are the players that come to mind. They haven't qualified and played at an international event since Champs 2022.
Yeah, eons ago.
It feels like it hasn't been that long ago, but whereas these were previously household names of the LATAM and Brazilian scene, it's been a while since we've seen them on the big stage. And it would be phenomenal if they were able to get over to Masters Bangkok, which is what these teams are playing for.
Loud just trying to do a good job of pulling out a util, even getting themselves into the site, but it's one thing to get in there, it's another thing entirely. See if you can win out the round here when you don't have the guns for the job. All in through the back of the site, they haven't cleared out through lamps yet. It's a danger zone potentially. I've seen these classics do work at times, but yeah, reinforcements arriving rapid onto the scene. The Stimmy at their feet, just running down these players, and they'll be able to win this one out. Pretty much, almost. Pancada. Just one man, yeah, what can you really do there? Everybody surviving, as you said, clean sweep, so it's flawless in the making here.
And also, very generous of Shy and Mazzino not to get involved, because they've stacked the ult points over towards some really large ultimates. It's not going to be available for the bonus, but Kesnit, Adverso, those are massive defense side ults. The Showstopper and the Viper's Pit certainly work your way around later on. I'm expecting the attack sides to really have most of the initiative in these games. Both of these teams happy to brawl on defense as well, though, and fight those early angles. Let's see what Lauda got for us here. They need to stop momentum from KRU. We saw some runaway halves with KRU versus NRG.
Immediately, you're looking at game plan cooked up. There's a grab net up and over the top. You can see they have a nade as well to react and reach them. The one connection there, Kesnit. Lucky to be alive there, just backing away. Stimmy at the feet as well, just for that extra safety, but not quite necessary still. This is a rapid approach. They won the fight for the ore, but even a bit of spam as well that's just occurring out towards B-Long, back of the site. Kills exchanged.
And here's a really important point as well to note. Normally, you would want to keep more players over towards A. You couldn't stack B like this, but they have the Vice Wall in showers. Dejazine takes contact. Entries caught by Melzer.
Yeah, this is it. This is where the fights really matter. Vinny does step up to that challenge. 2 versus 1 now. First is going to be late to the scene. Only working with a Spectre in hand.
Good luck getting past this.
That's a brutal one. That's another layer of it.
He's going to run out of bullets at some point here.
Exactly, his 2 entire clips. They know where he has to come from. Should be all set up for Loud to end up winning this.
I mean, at the same time, he can push elbow here or come back through CT for a cheeky pick.
First shot. Verso barely saved. Just by the missile in the wall.
Toxins going up. Team A.
Yeah, just a little bit too much for Adverso to overcome there.
Like I said, though, when I was watching the NRG crew game, something that I was really focused on when watching that game back is that teams in this meta, while you're playing Vice on defense, are actually able to stack B more than they used to be able to in the past. Attacking teams will take B long control and threaten that they could be pivoting through the teleporter at any point and going over to hit A. But if you have the Vice Wall in showers and Thorns, they actually can't do that quickly.
Yeah.
The defense rotations can beat them to it, despite the fact that they get literally teleported across the map. We're seeing a lot more defensive stacks.
Yeah, we certainly are. It's one of the things I was really enjoying actually out of Shy was that he was alternating the setups a lot more to put the deep wall up into showers. Not seeing it this time, but...
No, he ran it in the prior round, and now he's moving things a little. One of the most important things with these defense side setups is that you keep it moving, adjusting. He's got it now at the exit of Hookah.
Just to keep Loud guessing, always poking, prodding, trying to see where these setups are. And time is going to become an issue for a lot of these teams now. Got to try and bait out some of the stall util. Smoke in your face just makes it that much harder. Deep dog into showers, Loud know that that portion of it is clear.
Dejazine has already used his nade, so no opportunity for a grab net nade combo to punish Adverso on these jump peaks.
Snake bite in the hand.
There's the grab net, though.
Grab net is good, actually. Going to be ripping this one wide. But what's up? Oh my goodness. The exchange of fire. Lucky to be alive and a heal. Just towards the back, Dejazine's going to get some help in hand. Thorns, though, and they're going to call for it. TP. Pivot, rotation this entire time. Vinny was holding onto this B-long control. Brimald, though, to deny, and time being played. It is going to be that problem, dropping down straight into them. Fight to be taken Shy. Can't quite stand his ground out towards the back, but a lot to get done further. And with the wall in your face, Dejazine left to do the most. Drops down eventually, though. 14 seconds remaining, and it's a 2v1 at that. Fast with the timing. Kesnet knife out, rotating around, trying to isolate these fights, but Dejazine unable to find anything there.
Very clean from crew. They knew with 30 seconds left, Vice Wall had still not been baited over towards Hookah. That pivot through the teleport was never going to work. 2 players killed by the Brim ultimate. Adverso is a little lucky to survive in this spot. But that play off the back of the orbital strike is great. However, it also highlights the fact that Loud are not doing enough really with their attacking default. Yeah. They need to be finding where that wall is. They need to be creating pressure. They need to know that a pivot like that is going to run them into trouble. Take a look at the economy. Loud in a bit of a spot of bother.
Yeah, they are. This is, like you mentioned, I mean, you're going to see recurring problems, I think, with just time being an issue if Loud don't do a good enough job of trying to pull out the util consistently. Adverso, you know, they try and go for that A play. They've got Thorns at their feet, Snakebite as well.
Yeah, and you're going to be running into Pit and Showstopper in probably the next round as well. Seems very unlikely that Adverso and Kesnet would not get up to that.
All grouped up from Loud. Just the shoulder peeking out. Dejazine's going to be taking contact. Pushing forwards again, that Snakebite becoming a bit of a problem. The grab there, not enough to dissuade it. The Thorns at the feet is the one that steals that kill. Adverso will still go down though.
They're getting him
in hand.
They're getting him in the grab net every time, but the follow-up just isn't there. Loud have got to do better with that.
Not coordinated. And the front of the site is taken up by Loud here, but the trouble is, how do you even get this plant down? You're being pressured from multiple fronts now. Ney going to be rebounding. 2 years has to respect it, backing himself away. Can't get themselves into that post plant just like they want to. Out through the smoke, rattling away. The Sheriff's only the one. Kisnik going to be returning, and that's an ult popped off, but wasted at the end of the day still. Going to be pleased with the round.
Yeah, he would like that showstopper for the next, where Loud have got a few rifles, but...
You not just blow out the fuse?
What, just leave it to go until the next round?
No, like physically, like, you know, like...
Wet your fingers.
I didn't mean to. Yeah. I mean, keep for the next.
I don't think that's how... Listen, Ray's maybe just kind of a bit more of like a scrapyard feel to her explosives, but I don't think people normally build in those kind of switches.
That's true. We're not working in the 1700s with a cannon.
I don't think so. I don't think so. So Loud are now going to have rifles back. Is there a pick going to come down here as well? Adverso's got it.
Yeah.
And we're into the tag timeout. So plenty of opportunity here for Loud to discuss what they want to improve. I think one of the things, you cannot be allowing Adverso to be playing in lamps like that and getting caught by a grab net every time. You know he's jump peeking. So just to rewind a little bit, Loud are not playing a Viper in their composition. So they don't have that wall down lamps. So they can't really go for those lurk plays into lamps. Adverso's going to be jump spotting it and seeing that it's clear. The punish to that is to catch him in the grav net, catch him with a nade, do some kind of double blast back onto him. Adverso should be dying if he goes for those kind of jump spots down short. And yet he's gotten away with murder so far on their defense side.
Oh, Thorns just saving up. I mean, it literally can be as simple as trying to spam out the Thorns before you even go for something at the beginning.
Sure.
Anything to get rid of it, that first line of defense.
The timing is also just not quite there. He's actually being able to rip the net off before Dijazine jumps on top of it.
Right.
And all of this discussion about Adverso is probably going to end up being useless because I doubt he's going to be playing short this round. If I was him, I'd be taking the pit somewhere else. Then again, you look at him on the mini-map and he's over here laying down the wall, so he's not going to be too far away from home.
Yeah. He's alone for now, but only got a shorty in his hands. So, okay, no, someone does buy for him.
What have Loud got coming out of this tag timeout?
A lot of ults.
And a massive clash on sand.
We've seen a fight straight up, Mazzino. They're waiting for... Contact up into this. That is brave. Just going to take that one straight up. Melter right from the side. There stands up, though. Concussed to him at all. Wazine just able to get that trade online here. Nasika's popped off. Will give him at least peace of mind knowing that that site is cleared out. Adverso onto the flank, though. Will be spotted by it. Plant online and down and out. Shy would at least a flash. Molly at your feet.
Vinny couldn't be further away from the action right now.
Miles away, hoping he was going to be able to catch that rotate, but still, it can be the insurance policy, just in case it does get a little bit messy, and it's not going to look likely. Loud, full control, and Vinny from the side. So, there's an answer for you.
That's not really an answer that you cook up in a tactical timeout, though, is it? Unless they've figured out the powers of mind control, you can't really force crew to contact into you.
To feed into you? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Crew clearly thought there was going to be some large explosive play in this round, so they're anticipating, all right, if they send it down short here with Showstopper, with the null command, then we'll get a really nice timing walking behind them. They got the read wrong. That's okay. That kind of stuff happens. But one of the downsides is that they didn't even get the ults out of Loud. So now, momentum in this game is starting to flip over the other way.
Deep knife this timing. The wall spotted out. Wait a minute, they know about it. Jump spot up and over. Flash to the backside of Shy to try and play off, just in case there was a player trapped, but I love this reposition.
And what a great bait from Mazzino.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling all of that aggro of the Boombot, pulling out all of that utility. And they're not going to realize they didn't clear Shy.
Could be a disaster waiting to happen here for Loud. We have no space over towards A, no player just like lurking, making sure to hold on to it in case you need a pivot option.
That flash is so good because it makes them think that Hookah is empty. Because why else would you be flashing that for info?
Shy can play the backstab, still players coming through anyway. And the clearance is there. Dijazine just snapped it to the side. Still the satchel's there. Melzer somehow getting two. Molly to the side though. Helping them out and he will be able to pick them up. Straight back up in fact, but no, not quite. Mazzino is more than cheeky, up and over the top. Should be favoured. Adverso though left alone in a 1v1. Stinger in hand. He does it all. Red Bull clutch.
What a play from Crew. They stacked the correct site. As soon as all of that Hookah pressure was neutralized, they had a great read that Loud were going to be ending B. Couple of blinding shots hit from Melzer, who, by the way, right now is 13-3.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't even see how he hit these, but that second one, I guess it's a body shot onto 2Es as well. He'd taken a lot of kind of chunking chip damage coming through that choke point. That's got him back in the game. It was looking like the momentum was going to flip there in terms of how taking control. Not to be.
Flash will get that acknowledgement here from Mazzino. You're playing a dangerous game. Already players straight up onto him. There's a chance for the spam to connect. No, not quite. B hops away. Like you said, gets him back into the game as well. He's probably not looking too hot here, but okay. How do you deal with that? Grab there. Orbital strike. Goodbye. Deep fried. Shy did not stand a chance still. Util, he's getting a bit of value before he ended up going down with a ship. Primed and ready, Annihilation is going, and that's one player wrapped up nice and pretty. Presence occurring all across the place here. Mazzino just trying to sweep his way through, but no one clearing into these corners. Kesnit lights it up into the feed. It's a 2v2 scenario. And a slow down into the middle of the round. But players not expecting it at first, so right from behind.
The adjustment the crew were already thinking of coming out of the previous tactical timeout where they were pushing more on defense, abusing the fact that Loud don't have that traditional sentinel, eventually comes through. Both ults found value there for Loud. Orbital Strike got a kill. Melzer got turned into a pretty little butterfly, ripped off in the cocoon. And yet, still, crew on top.
Fast timings. Fast timings. Keep the energy up.
The crew fans are always keeping the energy up, especially when their team is playing like this. What a turnaround for this squad compared to the first time we saw them play Loud.
Sure how that one didn't connect either, but you're absolutely right.
Bunny hopped out of it.
Yeah. Just out of dodge.
Now they have been hammering the B site for the last few rounds in a row without any success. I'm surprised. This is where you're running into the Vice utility. This is where, even despite the ult picks, you've not been able to find success. Vinny, though, has been lurking through showers in prior rounds.
Yeah, and he's just been a one-man army. You're attempting to be here. Now there's TPs occurring. Melzer, Molly at the feet to just buy a bit of time for the rest of his team. Nobody be able to step up to it.
Vinny was not expecting Melzer to be on that off angle, and Melzer's frying today.
Looks in the face, though. Kesnit going to be denied. Just this chance to potentially take that pot shot, and walking up slow and cautious is the play. Sensor off to the side here, but a good opener. Okay, Kesnit has dropped and fallen, but the pit, though, is going to make it awkward. It's a thorn in the side, currently of Loud's game plan. Wall up into their faces. One way to try and deal with it, but spamming away. Bait the players in. Difficult, though, still for Loud. What do you call, and how do you try and play this one to Jazine? Take control towards the back of the site, just trying to flip that one away from them. He's already ripped away too, but still they haven't dealt with Adverso. And now, Diffuse stuck, need to push them back. Out and away, but Adverso does have that extra player to play him in as Melzer off from the side. Digitine not ready for it. And that 7th round now, tallied up.
It is beautiful from Melzer. The jiggle peaks there, just to apply pressure. The way that the two of them, Melzer and Adverso, are able to navigate that situation, never get punished. The opener and the closer, Melzer there. Individual play has been on fire for both of these teams, actually, throughout the tournament. I think Melzer really came online in that match against 2G. He just did anything he liked. He was winning clutches left, right, and center, and he's kept all of that momentum going forwards. Loud are stuck. They need a hero.
And right now, I'm in the attack side. Protocols, defaults, not really working out for them. Okay, Kesnit is going to be caught there, has to take the TP. Needs some help as well from the rest of his team to try and get out of there, because Vinny is going to be watching, but he's only got the Sheriff, and Shy steps up. Okay.
Good team play for the rest of crew. Mazzino covering, Shy covering, all giving help to Kesnit, who's not really occupying the star player role yet on Bind. We know that he's capable of it, but it's actually the supporting cast that are doing the most out here today for crew.
He's not really needed to.
No, he's just been sat in heaven a lot of the time with a sniper.
Exactly. Smoke in his face most often, but doesn't matter. Loud are not doing a good enough job of clearing out a lot of this. And on a round like this where the economy's not looking good, game plan is falling to pieces ever so slightly. Kawazine just lurking up with a wall in his face, thinking twice about it. Even spam down himself. They spot it.
Did they leave Pancada on the other side of the wall?
Yes, they did.
Could you not have communicated that?
Tried to timing it together, but it's going to be delayed with this one. And 2 years in danger of dropping a spike into no man's land. He's not being defended. No one to cover this one. Pancada finally able to rejoin him. Still, that plant is stuck out through triple. KRU are going to be happy to play this one to the retake. Massive player advantage for them. It's louder the ones who have to take risks. Wall up. Bullets to the side, straight to the cranium. Kawazine left alone to do a lot. A lot of players all grouped up, but a Guardian spam just does not lean in his favor.
Every anti-eco has been clinical from KRU. Kesnit's been hard focusing on buying the Outlaw, so he's got the easiest punishes onto some of these players. And we're not really seeing a heroic player stepping up for Loud. I think in the previous matches, that's what has often made the difference for them. Somebody, and it can be anyone on this super experienced veteran roster, someone has always found the moment to step up, and as yet on Bind, they're not really showcasing that. Should note, it's KRU's map pick, and it's KRU's map pick for a reason. Loud have not been confident enough to show their Bind yet at all in the 2025 season. We've only seen them play it once in an off-season game. They lost that, running the same composition that we're seeing from them now. And when we go into Haven, I'm sure then players like Dejazine with an operator in his hands will feel a bit more comfortable, but KRU at the moment are getting so much confidence behind themselves.
Yeah, they really are.
They're running away with the game.
We'll see if that narrative switches around in map number 2, Haven, because, you know, KRU's attack hasn't been good.
It's been appalling.
Yeah, I was being polite.
They have a 16% win rate on their attack sides of Haven, so that, you know, we really could see a shift up heading into map 2. But the problem with a team like KRU, I think, is that they feed off energy, passion, momentum. Like, a lot of the game, the way they feel it, seems to be a mental one. A process of feeling confident to take the risk, to find the opportunity, to make the play. And if they're in that zone, if they're in the flow state, it can be very difficult to stop this team.
Now the back of this one. Here's the difference. Vinny's usually the one who's trying to play solo, I guess, onto the extremities, trying to take some space himself. It's the same grab net that we saw prior. It's being used, though, up and over the knife. It orchestrates quite a lot, but it's a fake. They're trying to pull players over towards B with this.
Yes, and instead, Kesnit, he was posted on top of the truck. He's dropped off his position and making the rotate up towards Heaven. Remember, there's no Viper, no attacking Viper wall, so Kesnit's got this line unless you commit super deep with a Heaven smoke.
It's a good job as well. Vinny just breaking that dog makes it really feel like this one now. But Kesnit taking pot shots, man. And cheeky peeks up onto that high ground perch. All out through the back here. Lau going to be going for that plant. They will be getting it at that here. Dejazine with a showstopper just to try and delay a bit of time.
Very
early. Retake wasn't coming through for them, but he has found himself a deeper position. Just about messing up the movement. To no avail there. And now, return of the fire here for Kesnit. He's going to answer it right back, but that knife is well timed. It's held into the hands. Perfect with it. Still, players are going to be dropping anyway. Out onto the side in exchange of that fire and lead firing down onto them. But time is starting to tick in. Fights need to be won out. KRU taking this one rapidly. The tempo adjustment for them. Sticking now onto it, but still bullets firing. Tap, tap. The kills need to be landing. Half onto the defuse. And out has been purchased. Adverse. Oh! Cannot be doing this again! But finally, 2 years shuts this guy down.
And I think a very apt choice of words there. Finally, Tui's. We saw like 10 seconds, the guy trying to land a kill onto Mazzino. Both players trading attempts at headshots across it. Dude, it's messy. Looking like they're having a dance competition more so than playing a game of Valorant. But that kind of round is what Loud need. Despite dropping a player, they get in, post-plant, push up aggressive, and make KRU pay to play the retake.
There's one more chance here. Another orchestrated attempt. You can see a bit of a grab net. I don't think there's going to be a connection. Too many of these players. Annihilation out and through. That's not one connection. Showers is in danger. Melza has to defend, but not enough to really get his teammate out of dodge. The rest of his team has his back. Full defense occurring out towards shore. This is just carnage. Blink of an eye, and the round is done.
It's a brawl out there, and KRU coming out the victors. 9-3 the lead. Off the back of the pistol, had momentum the whole way, players playing better individually, and almost 20 kills for Melza.
That's ridiculous. Something about brimstones on this map, Josh. Don't know what it is. I've seen Cryo put up those type of numbers. Sometimes they just come alive.
It's going to take a lot for Loud to get back into this one.
Certainly is. Still second half to be waiting. 9-3 though. Hefty, hefty difference in terms of those rounds here for KRU, and we'll see if they can take it that much more further.
Oh.
Huh, nature sure is full of wonders. Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Zero is here. 100% wings with monk fruit extract.
The pistol rounds are the bread and butter for KRU in their game the other day. It was really what set them apart and got them onto these good leads. And we'll see if this map is any buck to the trend. It's 9-3, not really like they even need it, but it would really just cement it as a dominant map win.
If KRU win the pistol, it's officially over. They are not the team that is in desperate need of it at this point.
It's Loud.
Loud going for their, like, what they have frequently been doing on pistol rounds, which is buying a ton of ghosts and sheriffs.
They're just sending it, man.
They just want to fight.
Yep, flash up and over as well. They want to fight still. See if they're rewarded. They're just in with just the 2 as well, putting a squeeze onto the SAM players, but KRU are able to just stem the bleeding and now get a rush on. Pancada will step away from most of that action. It's a good knife as well, just pulls KRU all the way back here.
And 2Es before he rotated through the deadlock wall, deep down short, so he's not worried about that kind of pivot.
Extra info gathered. And KRU getting spotted out. Still on the minute mark, so.
Yeah, and this makes it feel like KRU were trying to take some B long control, end B. 2Es now doesn't have that safety of the deadlock wall at top short. So they might start leaning a player over towards him. He's going walkabouts to look for information, and that is really dangerous.
It's risky.
Because if he goes down, the whole of the A site is gone. They're going to get a free plant, KRU.
He's hard opened himself up to multiple angles here as well, playing the spot, but
they
they're
also
not gonna see him.
They just threw the 0 point over towards Garden. Didn't see anything. I think someone should start leaning over towards A right now.
30 seconds left.
But I think it's the lack of sound cues. A deep push down A, short 2 years is expecting it to be all calm, but as soon as he hears this flash, brutally awakened.
His positioning might be great here.
Xeno low enough, but 2 years doesn't want to reveal his hand. But he's
planted.
lurked up into the spot, like you said. The positioning more valuable than a chance to get a stray kill. He's going to wait for the team now to get back in.
He needs to play the late backstab. Try to deny Mazzino.
One shot to the body will do it. Or to the head, but no, body will do. And now put in the squeeze here. Still, not even necessary that 2 years is creeping up, crawling from behind. Pistol round for Loud.
Very solid.
Thank you.
I'm not expecting Dejazine to do as much opping on this map as we saw from him on Haven, for example. But at the same time, he's been utterly phenomenal with it. So it could be something they go towards, and winning pistols allows them the economy to start getting it online. I was most impressed with Loud in their game most recently against Sentinels. Dejeuzin's entry was lovely, but we didn't really see that in the first half here. Couldn't find the moments to get in.
Yeah, locked out. Stalwart defense put up by KRU. Might change the tide of this one, though. Deep Flash getting that acknowledgement. All in the face of a few of these players. 2 years. Gotta respect the nade.
Loud on the defense side. Love going for these individual aggressive plays. Here, Kawanzina's doubled up with Tui, so they do actually have a couple fighting down B long. But they really love taking these fights on defense.
It's a cheeky fight to be taken. Okay!
And so punished for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is brutal.
Trying to disrupt the timings, expecting those players to be up there.
That's not what you're looking for Loud. They needed a clean conversion on this. They've allowed upgrades as well.
Bit of spam, Vinny. Hunting for one of the weakened players. It's going to be calmed out. Knife is going to get that acknowledgement. It's going to know now. Wait a second, that's all three. Calling for backup in case they want it, but they're going to take the TP. So there's hesitation, I think, from KRU, or it looks like they were.
I mean, Pancada takes a little bit. Pancada takes space here, but it doesn't really look like Loud are thinking about what would happen if KRU did hit the TP. Because then they'd be scrambling back to A.
Yeah. Instead, just go for the committal into the site now. Util's going to be used. These players are so low now. With Pancada, that deep work that he's managed to get off. Okay, traded out, still time. Hold up.
What a shot.
These players are low. There's 8 seconds. Got to try and do something here. Got to try and reclaim that spike and get that plant down. Barely enough, and the coverage has to be there from Melzer. Head on a swivel, looking for the Dejeuzi, and it should be favored surely with these players this week, but you never know. Finds the first, needs the second, satchel up and away, onto the top, and there's spotted Melzer! Thrifty win granted! Gets away with murder!
When Dejeuzi jumps up on top of that box, he's got such a good idea of where the final player is. So he drops into him and is inaccurate on his drop.
Yeah.
Just giving the advantage to the player with a shred of health. That shot from Shies.
That's nice.
Miraculous. And Melzer, he's been pulling off miracles all day long.
Yeah. These KRU players, they've got a clutch gene in them. They've been proven that over and over again.
They didn't need that Thrifty.
They really didn't.
They could have been kind and merciful to Loud and given them at least that one. But it is dominance out here on Bind.
Straight back around. Coming up to the side there. It's weakened guns here for Loud. Not a lot to work with. They just want to try and deny these orbs, but honestly need a round win more than anything. But we'll see if there's openings later on for them to capitalize on. For now, slow and steady, taking a gamble stack over towards A.
I'd also like to see, even if Loud end up losing this map, the players to start heating up, getting some fire underneath them. Because Haven is an absolute must-win. Even if you didn't know the result of Bind, you're thinking, all right, Loud, they've got to be able to take Haven. But at the moment, KRU are so far ahead. They've got the stack in the right place, though, here, Loud.
Yeah.
Good gamble.
Creeping up. Straight behind the wall, gets them into position and to the place, but like you said, the gamble is correct. And the bullet's going to be raining down. Exchange of those fires, hold on! 2 years! He's tempered it, at least with a sheriff in hand, and a spike as well, a bit of a getaway and a chase. My God, Kesnit, lucky to be alive. But he's maybe, potentially, earned them a chance. B-site, cracked open wide, 2 years. Slow enough that a single shot at this outlaw will do him dirty.
Does Kesnit get the read, though? I actually love this reposition from 2Es. He doesn't take the teleporter, but he's still coming from that direction, which means Kesnit is not going to hear the audio cue. But as Kesnit holds CT, the more time it takes, the more he should start thinking about the flank. Where is this guy? Why have I not seen him yet?
Here it is, it's kicking in. Still almost certain, but a timing favors Kesnit entirely.
$11-4 in the lead. Nothing working here for Loud.
Even this round with Tui's hitting 3. The movement clean, the shots hitting, but not able to secure the final. The most important kill of the round. 11-4, pretty much insurmountable at this point. Crew only need 2 to close things out. Nothing's been working for Loud today.
Barely any room to breathe.
Launching smoke.
A massive difference compared to when we saw them in the upper bracket.
Oh, yeah. Tap and a spam trying to bait out that response from Crew. They're going to oblige. Sending the bullets raining down. See how committed they are to trying to hold on to this one. The dog is going to be spotting not broken in time. Boombot as well at their feet. This is chaos. This is anarchy, and Kawazini needs that evacuation. You have that shower's control, so nobody going to be watching for him just to be TPing. Crew, though, their prize is going to be that deep B long position and control, and this Viper Orb makes it really precarious. Don't know if they're going to be lurking their way through, but a Steel Garden spells it out at the minute mark. Rebounding with the Thorns. Nade seeking to delay, but Amoli's at the feet as well, just burning the toes to a crisp. No players falling. Slow siege by Crew is what it's really feeling like. Getting themselves in now for the plan, making sure the coverage is there. Watching the angles, watching the smokes. Late onto the approach, these players coming around and away. Showstopper in the hands, Kesnit. That's dashing away the hopes and dreams. Loud. No options to really salvage this from this point on. The guns need to be saved, but
they're going for the save.
A round win at the end of the day.
They're going for the save. I mean, your chances of winning from 4-12 down have got to be worse than the chances of winning this 3v5. Surely.
Just nigh impossible.
Tui's and Kawazin got caught on the flank as well. They tripped the Vice wall. So Adversa was watching for it. I was wondering if they were going to try to send it, maybe hope for a huge individual play. The Annihilation doing something, but it is a slow death.
Yeah.
Death by 1,000 cuts here for Loud. Forced to back it up. Love this post-plant aggression, though. Great idea. Take the fight to Loud. Get that kill.
Making sure to disrupt them when they're trying to set up into those retakes. Like we said, I mean, it's nigh impossible at this point. It's 12-4. There's no buffer whatsoever here for Loud to get these string of rounds together. It's almost just an inevitability. We're just waiting to see how it's going to happen here. Still, ult to be used by 2 years. Flash up and over. Early damage done. Kawazin, barely alive, 10 HP, scuttling away.
Dejazine holding an off angle here.
Zeno trying to go for that clear. Okay, that's quick reactions. Dejazine dropped away. It's going to be reactive here with the Annihilation. Rebounding.
He missed
no
it.
connection! Where the hell did that one go? Mazino's quick with the trade.
He bounced it off the doorpost.
Oh, it's brutal. Seekers now offloaded away. Adversa still watching, knowing weaknesses of their comp, just in case there are those deep lurks occurring. All of them regrouping up and away. Question marks across the map here for Loud. Using the dog to try and at least clear some of it up. But at this point, what you said earlier, Josh, just ringing through my head. Death from 1,000 cuts.
Kawazin at least has found the right site to end on. Pancada's going to have an opportunity here. They need to make this one tough for Crew to close out, I think, just for their chances of winning the series.
Bit of confidence up. Flash through. It's all obvious now, at least for the Guardian in hand. Going to be precise!
Beautiful.
And Pancada keeps them alive.
A little bit of life here towards what looks like an inevitable end for Loud. It would be an absolutely insane comeback. But I'm concerned about entries like that. Mazzino, the Sky player, is whipping around the corner and deleting Dejazine on defense.
Yeah.
They need DG to be playing at his top level to be able to control people like Kesnet on the other side. I mean, today, Melza as well. We're not really seeing that just yet.
No. Orbital strike in the back pocket. Deep smoke and a wall on top of it. Flashes into their faces and a play. Aggression is the name of the game here for Loud. All the way through, making sure to just try and get and pile up the hurt onto Crew.
I like that
setup.
one. Yeah, 4-player stack over towards B. And once they have the player advantage, they don't overfight.
Well,
doubled up in a high-low, looking to try to shut down Adverso if he did go for something. And constantly, this Viper wall
and the threat of lurking towards lamps, it's stopped by this deadlock wall. So 2E's is finding some value, but then at the minute mark, suddenly the map is open again.
Exactly. Opened up.
Toxins going up.
First the spots. Not sure if he spotted 2 players or just the 1, but look from KRU finding value. These are the holes in the defensive game plan of Loud, like you were saying at the minute mark. I mean, there's no reclear. 2E's does not know where these players are. You can feel it. The uncertainty settling in.
Yeah, Vinny's got to be drawing people back over to A as that deadlock wall goes down, but they're offering 30 seconds for KRU to get in and cement their position.
It's a smoke and a tap. Seeing where the ult comes out, and Pancada might choose to try and push it back and away here. Mouse are finally going to be sticking it. Confirming the plan now, getting him into that post-plant scenario.
Kawanzine sprinting it down in market.
Yeah, Seeker's being used. That really just to tell you that he is coming from the flank at this point, but might not even matter to them still. See if it makes a difference. KRU stepping up now. Melts it, pushes it back. As long as he stays alive as well, there is that danger. Still buying that time for them. Orbital strike, no value. No one cutting up the corner into that one. Wall going to be dropped down, and Universal wins the fight out. Vinny, a tap. Needs to win this fight, but he does not do just that. Orbital strike from the side. Just clips onto the heels. 2E's dropped down, and Pancada left to do it all. Time ticking, and Amoli spells it all out.
Attackers win.
An utterly dominant map win here for KRU. Rewriting the history between these two teams from the upper bracket of Kickoff. They are out here with a vengeance, looking to eliminate Loud. You saw it from round 1. I think it was Adverso, just on his feet immediately after winning the pistol. And you knew the KRU came into this one, and they'd taken the previous loss personal.
They've been tempered through that lower bracket, and it was Loud that sent them there. It's a different KRU we're looking at. We need to see that continuation of it. At least that passion is there right now for KRU. We are going to be going into Haven. We've got some question marks there in terms of how KRU are going to be looking onto that map. It is Loud's pick. It's where they dismantled them last time, actually, when they played in week 1.
But that was with Dejazine's operator coming online. 58% of Dejazine's kills were with the op.
Yeah.
Defense side, he was impossible to beat. Where is that version of Loud today?
It needs to rear its head, I think, for them to stand a chance here. Otherwise, it's looking like KRU potentially going all the way once more. I don't want to listen. I don't want to curse it. We're going to be stepping away. GP and the analyst desk going to be breaking it all down for map number 1.
Okay, Team Secret, we need you guys on the stage now. Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go.